Welcome to Impact Travelogues by Harmony Inc. In Impact Travelogues, we cover stories of change makers and impact leaders who are solving for sustainability challenges. In today's conversation, we have DLRC's founders, Mr. Ajay Dalmia, Ms. Mona Dalmia, and Mr. Pavan Iyengar. Thank you, Ajay, Mona, and Pavan, for joining us in this conversation. So talking of purpose, I saw the campus and this entire philosophy of sustainability is being built here. And Ajay showed us the hydroponics piece, aquaponics piece, sorry, and the entire the waste which is being completely recycled.
The bio toilets.
Bio toilets and all. If you can just share a bit about it, because sustainability has become a buzzword, last 2-3 years. Although it's been there for the last 15 years, but a lot of consciousness has come about. Maybe because of the investors globally have been asking corporates, and that's increasing the consciousness. How did it come about in your philosophy, and how are you kind of implementing it?
So Ajay and I have been living a very sustainable life for a very long time now, to be honest. And we were in Bali for 4 years. So that really changed our perspective about so many things. If you look at how Balinese live, they are one with nature. You can't really distinguish where their house ends and where nature begins. So this was such a beautiful experience that we had in Bali for 4 years. In fact, the house that we lived in was made of bamboo and had no walls. So I still remember the very first day when we reached Bali and we went to the house that we were supposed to, and everything was open, right? And so we didn't want to close our room door also because the kids were in another room and we were kind of thinking new place, new something. But we couldn't sleep for 2 days until the third day we closed the door and then we were able to sleep because we were just not used to it.
Yeah.
But over time we got so used to it. We had all kinds of rhino beetles and geckos and everything in our home. So why I'm telling you this is because open spaces actually do open minds. Okay, right? And at least that happened in our case. So when we did decide to leave Bali after 4 years because our kids were growing up and we wanted to be closer to our families and all, we made a decision to move to Pune because his brother lives in Pune and all of that. So when we moved here, we got a regular house, but what shall we do that will be open, like what we had in Bali, was something that was always in the back of our mind. There is something about our lives, an underlying backbone through which we have belief in our connection with nature. I think that is definitely there. And how to bring that connection closer to the kids, closer in our lives, has been maybe an inspiration because of which one thing after another. I think I will definitely say Ajay has been a huge driving force in bringing up the aquaponics system and a lot of the things that we see on campus. Of course, it's been a collective effort, right? But I mean, why not bio toilets when we can have them?
Yeah.
And why not have a vermicompost when we can have it, right? So really,
are there any challenges you feel? Because it's completely different philosophy, and typically parents don't see that. Are there any challenges you face, and how do you kind of resolve them?
Always, right? So bio toilets are not everybody's first choice. Even today, that day when we had a session with the parents, I asked, there were about 30 odd parents that were there with me in tour. I said, okay, can you just hands how many of you have actually used these toilets? And I said, not for liquid nutrients, but for solid nutrients. I only had one hand out of 30.
Well, they don't come to
No, I know. So I asked them, I said, look, you should consciously make an effort to come and use it for depositing your solid nutrients. So that once you have an experience, then you'll be able to talk to your child also. And I took the bucket out, I showed them as to what is involved and everything, and that is actually what Joe's actually just was completely hooked on to. They said, wow, I never knew that this would be something like this. I would say it is an education, and even today I would say that there are students who are not comfortable with it. There are parents who are not comfortable. There are facilitators who are not comfortable. So it is an educating process because our lifelong we have used flush. We have seen water flushing that,
and at homes
also. So the water is flushing down the good nutrients down the flush. Now to change that mindset, it takes time.
So when you flush, everything is gone, right? In a toilet, all you see is a clean toilet. But in a bio toilet, kids don't get to see that.
Right.
And for them, it's a shift. So yes, but we do orientations. and we talk very openly to our kids about everything, so we do lots of orientation. We even do demos. I mean, like, we even show them how to use it so that they're comfortable. They must be comfortable. I think with every passing year, the kids are becoming more and more comfortable. So they're this year we did an immersive orientation, to be honest. And I think after this particular orientation, I felt the kids were way more comfortable than any other year that we've seen them.
And I think that it is, I would say that when we are doing these things, it is less with the thought of sustainability. It's more about saying, okay, we are looking at something as waste. Can that be a resource? So I think the question, asking yourself a question, okay, is this a waste or is it a resource? And that itself, that is sustainable.
Right.
So it is about coming not from the word but from the actions. And that is really what this whole campus is about. So even not a single drop of water gets wasted. So the water that we use in the sink there goes in the tank below, and that water is used in the vermicompost or in the beds. Water there gets collected in the tank, gets used. So not a single drop is wasted. Whatever gets used everywhere. Aquaponics, it uses 80% of water to grow things that would take otherwise in a soil. So everywhere it is about educating ourselves and the children. We need to preserve the natural resources that Mother Earth is giving us, and yet we need to sustain this population. The question is how. And the other thought also is that I think with the growth of industrialization, what has happened is that has led to more and more central production, as opposed to production happening where the consumption is there. So what has happened as a result is that our food travels miles before we consume it, and we don't even know who has produced it. Things that we consume, we don't even know where they're coming other than the name of the company. So with these initiatives, we can at least educate the children that, look, your consumption should be closer to production. So we create jobs in the economy, we consume locally so we know who's producing what.
All aspects of the campus are part of our curriculum. So it's not just for namesake, but it's actually part of it. And that's another reason why we keep doing these things. Because we know, this must also be, the kids should know about this. The kids should know about the biogas system. So we have this thing in middle school, it's called self-directed learning. The kids have a month long of self-directed learning, in which they can choose their own topic, and through mentor guidance, they can take the topic to the immersive levels that they want to.
No, because a lot of millennials are going to be becoming conscious, and your own products will, they will probably get married and they'll have kids and they would want to have them similar education. Then how do you do you intend to have it in other?
Yeah, so if anybody asks many of us that, okay, what's your faculty orientation program? I think our full-time learning program from senior KG to 12th standard is our faculty orientation program. And that is also a growth plan, where these 250 kids who are learning right now, they are going to go out and create change now and also in the future. And our parents, and they are going to help pollinate different centers in Pune, different centers across India, across Maharashtra, in rural places, across the world.
No, indeed, it's been, I think I frankly enjoyed this campus and loved a lot of learning for me itself, because I had done schooling way back. And thank you so much, Ajay, Mona and Pawan, for giving time and sharing about this DLRC, a innovative concept. We hope more and more such students also pollinate this and create more such DLRCs across India and possibly globally as well. Thank you again so much for it.